Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving right into something called the money script. We're going to uncover this completely invisible force that's, well, secretly dictating pretty much all of your financial choices.
Because underneath every single technical trading pattern you use, there's a deeply rooted psychological foundation. So I'm just going to break the fourth wall for a second and ask you directly, what does money actually mean to you? And I don't mean what you want to buy with it. What does the concept of money mean? What does having it say about you as a person? What does losing it say about your worth and your safety? Just take a second. Let the gravity of that really sink in. Because whatever your answer is, it's actively running your life.
Okay, let's really get into this. That unexamined meaning we just talked about, it is literally sitting right there at your trading desk with you during every single session. It acts like an invisible pilot, basically making decisions on your behalf without you even realizing it. And honestly, it is costing you money in ways that no amount of strategy tweaking or technical analysis is ever going to fix. Bottom line, if you don't know what money means to you, well, money is just making your decisions for you.
So, to really understand how this works, we have to look at the research of psychologists Olivia Mellan and Brad Klontz. They pioneered this brilliant concept called money scripts. Basically, these are unconscious beliefs about money that we form in childhood. And get this, research shows most of these are entirely locked in before we even hit the age of 10. No way, right? They're built through observing adults, early experiences, and just absorbing the environment, way before our rational brains even have the capacity to question them.
I bet some of these scripts are going to feel uncomfortably familiar to you. Things like money is safety, or maybe money is danger. How about rich people are greedy, or poor people are virtuous? These are super common inherited beliefs. And the scary part, they aren't consciously held. They're like the invisible water we're swimming in. They're everywhere, but you can't see them. They operate totally under the radar, shaping your financial decisions before your logical mind can even step up to the plate.
And these childhood scripts have a totally devastating cause and effect relationship with your actual behavior at the terminal. Think about it. If your script says money equals safety, your nervous system is going to prioritize safety above profit. You just won't take valid risks. If your script is, I don't deserve wealth, you are going to unconsciously sabotage your account the second it reaches a certain size. You'll suddenly break a rule at the worst possible moment. Or if your script is, money equals worth, you literally cannot take a financial loss without taking it profoundly, deeply, personally.
So, how do we fix this? Well, to find a solution, we actually need to look backwards, way back to the Stoic philosopher Seneca. Now, Seneca was one of the wealthiest men in the entire Roman Empire, yet he diagnosed this exact psychological condition centuries ago with just absolute unsparing honesty. He totally understood that real poverty wasn't about a lack of coins, it was a psychological affliction.
He completely nailed the dangerous trap of conflating our external wealth with our internal identity. Come on, we all know that trader who is entirely dependent on their account balance, right? When it goes up, they feel super valuable. When it drops, they feel personally diminished. The market is basically playing them like a fiddle. But Seneca's ideal approach? It's about holding money with an open hand. You stay psychologically independent of it. You're present, you're engaged, and you're directing it with skill. But it is completely separate from your core identity.
This is absolutely crucial. You have to stop viewing the market's reliable statistical wins and losses as personal verdicts on your value as a human being. The market is going to produce gains and losses no matter what, and it doesn't care about you at all. Decoupling your self-worth from your net worth isn't just some nice, fluffy, philosophical idea. It is the absolute fundamental prerequisite for executing any trading system with emotional neutrality.
But hey, here is the good news. Your money script can absolutely be rewritten. We're going to walk through a highly practical 3-step process right now to excavate, read, and rewrite these hidden scripts that have been running your life.
Step 1 is what we call the origin audit. You need to ask yourself a few critical questions, but here's the rule. You have to answer them in writing, and you have to use your very first unedited thoughts. Don't write down the rational answer you think you should give. I want the immediate, gut-level answer. What did the adults around you imply about rich people growing up? What does the law say about you right this second? Write it down. Those unedited answers, they're going to reveal the exact shape of the script running beneath your trading decisions.
Okay, so once you have that baseline, we move on to step 2, mapping your behavior to your belief. Let's take 3 really expensive mistakes and trace them upstream to their root. For instance, if you're constantly moving your stop loss, you've got to ask, what does taking this loss mean to you beyond just the money? Or if you tend to size up aggressively right after taking a hit, what personal insult is that loss delivering that you feel you absolutely must disprove right now?
Remember, the behavior is always downstream of the belief.
Which brings us right to step 3, conscious revision. This is where the magic happens. We logically question the inherited script to create just a crucial fraction of a second of distance between the belief and your reaction. Let's say your inherited emotional script tells you losing money means I am failing. You have to counter that logically. Ask yourself, wait a minute, does a defined rule-based loss in a positive expectancy system actually mean failure? Or does it just mean my system is operating exactly the way it's supposed to?
Let's look at another incredibly common one. The inherited script whispers in your ear, I do not deserve significant wealth. You have to intentionally replace that old garbage script with a rational question. Something like, is this belief based on actual hard evidence about my capabilities right now, or is it just based on random messages I received when I was a kid, way before I could even evaluate them? With consistent honesty, applying this kind of logic strips that inherited script of its power over you. And this right here is the ultimate game changer. When your primitive brain is screaming, money is safety and losing it is absolute danger, you pause, you take a breath, and you ask, is this capital actually my life safety net, or is it designated risk capital for probabilistic activity with defined parameters? Simply asking these conscious questions transforms you. You become a fundamentally different operator, one driven by current facts, math, and logic, instead of unexamined childhood fears. So, we've arrived at the ultimate truth of this explainer. The deepest, most absolutely critical work you will ever do as a trader, or an investor for that matter, has nothing to do with charts. Zero. It has nothing to do with finding some magic new indicator. It is entirely about mastering what that chart represents to you personally, and making sure that representation is serving your performance rather than silently destroying it from the inside out. I want to leave you with one final provocative question. What does a significant financial loss say about you? And I don't mean what it says about your strategy. What does it say about you? Because until you can answer that honestly, your unexamined script is going to keep making your decisions for you. It is time to rewrite it before you place your very next trade. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.